Good evening and welcome to Steam Stadium in Schofield for tonight's Division 6 WIAA Level 1 playoff game between the Cumberland Beavers and the Stratford Tigers. It's playoff football, and that means one loss and your season's over with. I'm Dan Leonard, along with Brendan Retzlaff and Tony Hollander. We thank you for joining us tonight on Zaleski Sports. The Cumberland Beavers come into tonight's game with a 6-3 overall record, 5-2 in the heart of the North Conference, finishing in third place behind conference champions Maple Northwestern and second place St. Croix Central. Cumberland is led by their quarterback, David Olson, who has passed for 1,472 yards and 18 touchdowns thus far this season. Olson completes over 70% of his passes, but has thrown 8 interceptions coming into tonight's game. One thing about his passes, they are the jet sweep, kind of the push action in the backfield, so it's more or less a short pass handoff type situation, but they call that a pass in statistics. His main targets have been Jack's Efforts with 45 receptions and 7 touchdowns, and Edward Schaefer with 48 receptions and 4 touchdowns. The Beavers' leading Russian is Roman Ronaldo with 598 yards this season. Stratford, meanwhile, is 6-2-1 and 6-1 in conference play and was the co-champions of the Central Wisconsin Large Schools Conference. The Tigers had won 6 consecutive conference games until last Friday night's loss to the Amherst Falcons by a score of 28-21 after the Tigers were stopped just short of the goal line in the closing seconds of that game. Stratford is led on offense by junior running back Kohler Kilty. Kilty has rushed for 1,129 yards so far this season with 13 touchdowns. Stratford does not pass the ball nearly as much as Cumberland, but their passing game has been very effective, especially the last 2-3 weeks. Senior quarterback Braden Schiller has now passed for 1,027 yards with 13 touchdowns, his main target being Ashton Wrench with 30 receptions and 9 touchdowns for the Tigers. So tonight's playoff game, two teams with very contrasting styles. Cumberland attempts 204 passes so far this season, while Stratford is 124. Stratford, meanwhile, has rushed for 292 times this season compared to 220 for Cumberland. Cumberland has also given up 1,441 yards rushing so far this season, so look for the Tigers to feed the ball to Kohler Kilty often in tonight's game. The winner of tonight's game will advance to level 2 next weekend against the winner between the number 3 seed Cadott and number 6 seed Ladysmith at a site to be determined. Stratford's offensive starters for tonight's game. At center will be sophomore number 75 Walker Weiss. At one of the guards, number 58 senior John Seitz. At the other guard, senior number 59 Cash Dahl. Tackles for the Tigers, senior number 50 Isaiah Hadlock and senior number 66 Jackson Ormond. The tight end for the Tigers, senior number 34 Evan Danielson. Wide receiver number 19 senior Ashton Wrench. Slot back number 20 junior Peyton Glenn. Running back number 24 senior Connor Weigel. fullback, number 22, junior Kohler Kilty, and the quarterback for the Tigers is the senior, number 12, Braden Schiller. The Tigers come into tonight's game as the number 2 seed in the playoffs, Division 6. Number 1 seed in their bracket is Grantsburg, who tonight takes on Cameron. In the 4-5 matchup in that bracket, it's Crandon against Unity. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the winner of tonight's game here between Cumberland and Stratford, which is 2 seed Stratford, 7 seed Cumberland, will take on the winner between number 3 seed Cadott and number 6 seed Ladysmith. Tigers coming off a tough loss last week. We're out to an early 14-0 lead in the first quarter against the Amherst Falcons, only to see Amherst come back after a fake punt late in the second quarter, went down to score a touchdown, and then pretty much the whole second half of that game, Amherst dominated both the time of possession and the yardage, and kind of really took it to the Tigers in the second half. Stratford did take a slim 21-20 lead early in the fourth quarter. Only seconds later, Godowski, the quarterback from Amherst, scored on a 72-yard touchdown run to put Amherst back up 28-21, which eventually ended up being the final score of the game for the evening. We're going to take a quick time out and get a message from one of our sponsors here before we get started. You're listening to Stratford Tiger Football on Zaleski Sports.
Cropping Central, conveniently located between Edgar and Stratford on County Road N, 715-352-2843. Let Cropping Central take care of your field plans, yield mapping, crop scouting, and crop protection, including hail insurance. Cropping Central, 715-352-2843, and visit them on County Road N, west of Edgar.
Back live here at Steam Stadium, getting ready for the kickoff for tonight's Division 6 Level 1 football playoff game between the Cumberland Beavers and the Stratford Tigers. In the pregame coin toss, Cumberland won the choice, elected to defer to the second half. The Tigers will be receiving to start tonight's game. I'd like to go take a minute and go over the brackets for the rest of the Division 6 field. In the other bracket, where the winner of the 18 sectional will be number 1 seed Coleman takes on number 8 seed Manawa. The 5-4 seed is Howard's Grove against Cedar Grove, Belgium. Number 3 seed Crivets against the 6 seed Bonduelle. And the number 2 seed St. Mary's Springs takes on the 7 seed WIAA Fremont. On the other side of the bracket, number 1 seed Marshall takes on number 8 seed Westfield. 5 seed Luther takes on number 4 seed Markesan. 3 seed Auburndale takes on the 6 seed Fall Creek. And the 2 seed Mondovi hosts number 7 Augusta. And finally, in the south bracket, number 1 seeded Kenosha St. Joseph's Catholic takes on number 8 seed Mineral Point. Waterloo hosts number 5 seed Lancaster. Number 3 seed Belleville hosts number 6 Westby, and number 2 seed Darlington takes on the 7 seed Benton Co-op team.
Welcome to this evening's.
This time we're going to join the public address announcer for the national anthem before tonight's game.
And the Stratford Tigers. You that are able to honor America, please stand, remove your hat, and join in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Okay.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And against red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Now let's Beavers.
John McCullough. Wonderful. All right, boys. Put it over there. You've been there.
And the Stratford Tigers. The officials for tonight's contest are licensed by the WIAA and have been selected based on their
Schofield for tonight's Division 6 Level 1 playoff football game between the Cumberland Beavers and the Stratford Tigers. As I mentioned earlier, Cumberland won the choice, deferred to the second half. The Tigers will receive to start tonight's game. Quite a rendition of our national anthem here tonight by the young lady. That was very impressive. Kind of a sparse crowd here tonight. Stratford playing all their games on the road this year, with Marshall having a home game tonight. Schofield Stadium was available, so Stratford is using this site tonight as the host team for tonight's playoff game. Boaz West teeing the ball up for the opening kickoff for Cumberland. Deep for the Tigers. Jet Shaner along with Dylan Weigel for the Tigers. There's the whistle, and we're just about ready to kick off tonight's game. Here's a kick fielded by Shaner. Trying to get behind the wall. He's up to about the 34-yard line. Brought down on the play by Monty Peterson for the Beavers. Tigers will take over 1st and 10 from that point.
1st and 10 Stratford at the 34-yard line.
Look for the Tigers to feed the ball to Kohler Kilty early and often tonight. Beavers do give up a substantial amount of rushing yards so far this season. Timeout on the field by the referee.
Reset the clock to 1153, please.
1153, thank you.
Problem with the clock here. Must have kept running after the runner was tackled. All set to go. Tigers come out double slot. Kilty lined up next to Schiller in the backfield. Here's the snap. Hand off to Kilty. He's headed left. Gets around the corner. Looks like he's up to about the 36-yard line. Gain of 2 on the play. Bring it 2nd and 8.
Vaughn Johnson with the stop. Also Bryce Colburn
Bryce Colburn on the tackle for the Beavers. 2nd and 8, ball at the 36-yard line. Just underway here at Steam Stadium, Stratford versus Cumberland. Double wing for the Tigers. Kilty once again the lone setback next to Schiller in the backfield. Here's the handoff to Weigel. He's up to the 40-yard line, a gain of 3 on the play.
Braden Schiller on the carry. Jack's effort.
Bringing up 3rd and 4 for the Tigers.
Gain out to the 35. We have a 3rd and 4. Also on the stop, Gavin Gort.
Tigers looking to mount a drive here on their first possession of tonight's game. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Here's the handoff to Connor Weigel, headed around the left side. He gets around the corner, down the sideline, and he steps out of bounds around the 39-yard line.
1st and 10, Stratford.
Looks like there might be a penalty marker on the field.
We have a flag on the play.
Tigers are moving back, holding against the Tigers.
That's a spot foul, 10 yards from the spot.
It's going to take the ball all the way back to the 33-yard line.
Spotted on the 33, bringing up
3rd and 11 for the Tigers. Tigers come out 2 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left. Kilty, the lone running back, goes in motion. Here's a quick pass to Kilty, and he drops it. It was incomplete.
Pass intended for Cooler Killy.
He had a couple blockers out in front of him.
Bringing up 4th down.
Not sure if he'd have been able to get the first down or not, but pass was dropped. It'll be 4th and 11 for the Tigers. Tigers sent out their punt team.
Braden Schiller back deep to punt. Deep for the Beavers, Edward Schaefer.
Braden Schiller to punt for the Tigers. He did have 1 block last week and a crucial point against Amherst. Here's the kick. High, towering spiral kick. Bubbled and dropped, and the Tigers recover.
Ball fumbled, recovered by the Tigers.
Recovered by the Tigers.
At the Beavers' 21-yard line.
Number 5, Logan Schmidt on the recovery. The Tigers will take over 1st and 10 from the Beavers' 21-yard line. Beautiful towering punt by Schiller. Earlier in the year, he was up for one of the spots of the Ray Guy Punting Award for one of the best punters in the state of Wisconsin. Tigers come up to the line. 2 receivers to the left, slot to the right. Here's a handoff to Kilty, headed around the right side. He's into the secondary. Down inside the 10-yard line, brought down just inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers from just inside the 10-yard line.
1st and goal.
That time he went around the right side, cut up inside behind the right tackle. Cash Dahl. 1st and goal for the Tigers. Ball just inside the 10-yard line. Tigers come up with double receivers wide to the left, slot to the right. Kilty once again the running back next to Schiller. Here's the handoff. Basically the same play as the last one. Now this time he's down, tackled at the 5-yard line. Brought down on the play by Jack's efforts.
Ty Kiekhofer on the stop. Gain down to 5.
2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. 9 minutes remaining here in opening quarter at Steam Stadium in Schofield. Stratford dumped double wide to the left again, slot to the right. Man coming in motion. Here's the handoff to, not sure who that, might have been Weigel. Peyton Glenn was the carrier for the Tigers. Brought down at the 3-yard line, just inside the 3. Jack Schaefer on the tackle for the Beavers. It'll be 3rd and goal from the 3. Tigers trying to capitalize on a Beavers muffed punt. Stratford has to call timeout because they had 12 guys in the huddle, otherwise they're going to get a 5-yard penalty. We'll take a quick moment, get a word from one of our sponsors. You're listening to Zaleski Sports. Clock is still running.
Whitetail Lanes is your fun headquarters in central Wisconsin. We offer a clean, family-friendly environment. Whether you come to bowl, eat, visit our pro shop, or just hang out, we'll show you what customer service is all about. We pride ourselves on serving excellent food at reasonable prices. Try our Friday night fish fry, or come out on Saturdays for our delicious homemade pizza cooked in our new stone ovens. Book us for your next party or event. Once you've been here, we know you'll be back. Whitetail Lanes, just north of Amherst Junction on Q.
All right, back live here at Steam Stadium after a quick Stratford timeout. It'll be 3rd down just inside the 3-yard line, 3rd and goal for the Tigers. This time I come out in their old T formation, 3 backs in the backfield. Here's the handoff to Kohler Kilty around right side. He walks into the end zone, touchdown. 3-yard touchdown run by Kohler Kilty. Puts the Tigers on the board at the 8:05 mark of the first quarter. Tigers capitalizing on a muff punt by the Beavers. 21-yard touchdown drive after the fumble. Evan Danielson on for the Tigers to attempt the extra point. And Danielson's kick is good, putting the Tigers on top 7-0. Once again, we'll take a quick timeout after a 7-0 score for the Stratford Tigers to listen to one of our sponsors here on Zaleski Sports.
Grassland Dairy Products is your match for an exciting new career today. Go to grassland.com to see the opportunities waiting for you. Browse through careers like CDL truck driver, shipping and receiving, line tech, quality assurance, forklift, maintenance tech, inventory associates, and more. Great compensation, weekly pay, and zero premium company paid health, dental, and life. Apply now at grassland.com or in person at Grassland Dairy Products, Fairground Avenue, just south of Greenwood.
All right, back live here at Steam Stadium after a Stratford touchdown. Stratford to kick off. Danielson doing the kicking tonight for the Tigers. Here's the kick, a low line drive. Takes a bounce, fielded at the 6-yard line by Efforts. He's trying to get around all the way across the field on the left side. He's going to be run out of bounds at the 12-yard line.
By Ryan Becker. 1st and 10 Cumberland.
Beavers will take over 1st and 10 from the 12. Run out of bounds by Ryan Becker from the Tigers. As we mentioned in the pregame, they do a lot of wide field, spread them out offense, a lot of jet sweep passes, shuttle passes to their running backs. Davis all alone in the backfield. Here's the snap, goes back to pass. Tigers putting a rush on, pass deep, looking for efforts, and completed.
David Olson's pass is complete to Jack's efforts. 1st and 10, Cumberland.
Brought down by Connor Weigel for the Tigers.
Carter Luke on the stop. Ball spotted on the 35.
Be 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard line. Nice looking pass by Olson on his first attempt tonight. Here's the shuttle pass to Schaefer. He gets around the left side.
Ball carried by Edward Schaefer.
Run out of bounds by Ashton Wrench.
Ashton Wrench.
Gain of 7 on the play.
Out of bounds. Ball carried out to the 38, gain of.
That's considered a pass. The statistics, just a quick shuttle to his wide receiver coming cross motion.
2nd and 2.
A lot of teams do the same thing, but they do it as a handoff. Here they're calling it a pass because it's behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 3, ball at the 43. Here's Olson looking again. Steps up in the pocket. This time he's going to run. Takes a knee. Looks like a late hit after the slide by Kilty. They're going to add 15 yards for a personal foul.
Personal foul against the Tigers. 15-yard penalty.
That's going to put the ball inside Tiger territory and give the Beavers a 1st down. Going to take it all the way down to the 41-yard line, giving the Beavers 1st and 10. This time the Beavers come up, kind of a jumbo formation. Here's the handoff to Ronaldo.
Ball carried by Roman Ronaldo.
Right up the middle. Gain of
Fuller Kilty and Ryan Becker.
2 yards on the play, make it 2nd and 8. Tackle by Kilty. 2nd and 8. Ball just inside the 40-yard line. Here's the snap. Olson back and pass, looking again. Look, this time he's going to run. Brought down on a hard tackle by Seitz.
John Seitz with the stop.
Gain of 3 on the play. It's going to make it 3rd and 4.
3rd and 5.
Ball's going to be at the 36-yard line. 3rd and 5 make it. This time the Beavers come out with 4 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Olson in the backfield by himself. Back to pass. Looking deep down the field, and passes way over everybody's head. Closest one in the vicinity was Ashton Wrench for the Tigers.
Ashton Wrench on the coverage for
Makes it 4th and 5. Looks like the Beavers are going to line up for a punt. Pin the Tigers deep back. Schaefer is doing the punting. Just a long drive that bounces on the turf, and it's going to be roll into the end zone. So the Tigers are going to take over 1st and 10 at the 20. With a break in the action, we'll take a quick commercial from one of our sponsors on Zaleski Sports.
For over 50 years, the Dental Clinic of Marshfield has served the area with the talent and expertise of big city dentistry with a hometown feel. With our multi-specialty staff and board-certified periodontist, orthodontist, and pediatric dentist, Dental Clinic of Marshfield has solutions for our patients of all ages from 1 to 100. We take pride in being in-network with an array of insurance companies to meet the needs of our community and our patients. No matter what your dental need, the Dental Clinic of Marshfield will be there for you.
Back to live action. Here's a handoff to Kilty around the right side. Cuts up all the way up to the 34-yard line. Brought down by Schaefer on the tackle.
Ball carried out to 33.
Gain of 14 for Kilty on that run. Tigers on their, actually be their third possession of tonight's game. First time they punted, the punt was muffed. They recovered the punt, the muff punt, and went in for a touchdown. This time they take over the 20. Here's the handoff to Kilty. This time he's headed around the left side. Still trying to chug away, chugging off the tacklers. Brought down at the 47-yard line. Gain of 13 more for Kohler.
First and 10, Tigers at the
Ball is at the 47-yard line. First and 10 for the Tigers. Look for him to get it early and often tonight. Beavers give up a lot of rushing yards. Kilty the lone running back next to Schiller in the backfield. Once again, here's the handoff. Headed to the right side, breaks it up inside.
Kohler, Kilty in the carry.
Brought down at the 49-yard line.
Roman Ronaldo.
Gain of 4 on the play. Second and 6. Ball at the 49-yard line of Cumberland. Tigers come up wide, receivers to the left and right, slot to the left. Kilty once again the lone running back next to Schiller in the backfield. Here's the handoff. Schiller keeps it this time, trying to get around the right side. Brought down by Monty Peterson.
Braden Schiller on the carry. Stopped by Monty Peterson.
Gain of 3
Ball carried out
for Braden. It's going to make it 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3.
Ball's at the 46, just inside the 46. 4 minutes remaining here in quarter. Stratford with a 7-0 lead. Once again trying to mount a drive. Two receivers wide to the left. Slot running back to the right. Here's the snap. Gives it to Kilty right up the middle. His knee went down. No gain on the play, or a gain of 2 on the play at the 44.
Tackled by Ben Cunningham, Jack's efforts.
It's going to make it 4th and 1 for the Tigers at the 44-yard line. Looks like the Tigers are bringing in their jumbo formation. Couple extra linemen. Full house backfield for the Tigers. 4th and 1. Here's the handoff to Kilty around the right side. He's at the 40 and stopped at the 40. Gain of 4 on the play that gives the Tigers a first down.
Jack Schaefer on the stop.
Jack Schaefer on the tackle for the Beavers.
Ball down on the 40.
Tigers able to get some yardage running on the right side of their offensive line. 1st and 10 from the 40. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the opening quarter. Here's the snap. Handoff to Kilty, headed around the left side, cuts up behind the tackle, gains 5 on the play.
Roman Ronaldo on the stop. Also Jack
Brunello on the tackle for the Beavers. Gain of 5, makes it 2nd and 5. Ball just inside the 36-yard line. Long 5, short 6. 2nd down. 2 receivers wide to the right. Slot running back to the left. Here's the counter play to Weigel, trying to get around the corner. He cuts it up inside. Now he heads back outside. Run out of bounds at the 26-yard line. That's the play where they give it to Kilty, headed left.
First and 10, Tigers.
Weigel comes back to the right, almost like a reverse. First and 10 for the Tigers
On the 26.
from the 26-yard line. There was nothing outside, so he cut it up inside. Once he got inside, then he got found a little daylight. Tigers come out, 2 wide receivers to the left. Slot once again to the right. Here's the read. Here's the pass. Looking wide open is Connor Weigel. Touchdown, Tigers. 26-yard touchdown pass from Schiller on the read option to Connor Weigel. Puts the Tigers on top, 13-0 at the 125 mark of the opening quarter. Exact same play they scored on last week against Amherst. Danielson in once again to attempt the PAT. Foltz doing the holding for the Tigers. There's the snap. Placement's down. The kick is up. And the kick is good.
Stratford 14, Cumberland 0.
Evan Danielson with the extra point makes it now 14-0. With this break in the action, once again, we'll take a moment for one of our sponsors on Zaleski Sports.
If you lose direction, you can grab my hand. I'll be the one behind you to say no. One man band. Just follow your dreams and keep your promises.
We're all different, but we all want great health insurance. See why we're rated #1 in service, coverage, and affordability in Central Wisconsin.
Tony Hollander's going to give you a second view of the touchdown pass from Schiller to Connor Weigel. We have replay tonight. Here's the kickoff. Fielded by
Ball returned by
Gideo. Returned up to the 39-yard line.
First and 10, Cumberland.
Looked like one of my golf shots. Shanked to the right. Short kickoff. Gives the Beavers good field position starting at the 39-yard line. 1:10 remaining here in the opening quarter from Steam Stadium. Stratford with a 14-0 lead. Before the snap, one of the wide receivers from the Beavers left a little early. Jackson Efforts in the field in a hurry to get downfield. Illegal procedure is going to bring it back 5 yards, make it 1st and 15. Ball's going to be placed back at the 34-yard line.
5-yard penalty, 1st and 15.
Beautiful night here at Steam Stadium. Sparse crowd. Here's a quick pass to the right, dropped by Edward Schaefer. Makes it 2nd and 15. He also had a couple blockers out there in front of him. He'd have caught it, he might have been able to get at least 10 yards on that play. Unable to handle the pass from Olson. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 15, excuse me. This time, Beavers have 3 receivers to the left, to the right, 1 to the left. There's the snap, and gets past him, rolls on the ground. Olson has to jump on it to recover it. Way back to the 21-yard line. Now they're going to mark it at the 22.
3rd and 27.
3rd and 27 now for the Beavers. Never had a chance to field that one. It rolled right past them. 3rd down. Here's the snap. Quick draw right up the middle. He's out to the 30. Looking for running room, and he's pushed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Well short of the first down. Wrench on the tackle for the Tigers.
And Wrench with the tackle. 4th down. 4th and 17.
It's going to make it about 4th and 16 for the Beavers. Going back and return the punt is Leonard along with Wrench. Here's the punt. Fielded by Leonard. Waiting for his blockers. He's got a wall on the right side. He's at the 50, the 40, the 30, 25, 20. Cuts inside and brought down at the 16-yard line. Nice job by Gavin Leonard waiting for his blockers. They had the wall set up beautifully along the near side here. We're going to have a quick replay on this one. Nice job, Tony.
1st and 10 Stratford at the Cumberland 16.
It was a low line drive fielded by Gavin.
Great seal. Let him go. Yeah, a lot of blockers.
Tigers up to the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Here's the handoff to Kilty around the left guard. He's into the secondary, inside the 5, 3, 2. Brought down at the 2-yard line.
Edward Schaefer on the stop. 1st and 10 Stratford.
Gain of 14, giving the Tigers a 1st and goal inside the 2-yard line.
Goal at the 2.
That's probably going to end the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, Stratford 14, the Cumberland Beavers 0, and the Tigers mounting to score a drive to score again. With this break in the action, we'll take a quick minute for one of our sponsors. You're listening to Zaleski Sports Playoff Football.
First things first with Mid-State Technical College. Dual credit programs earn you college credit in high school. Then choose a path that suits you. Use your skills to start your career or transfer to a university to continue your degree. Choose a new career. Transition easily and quickly by upgrading your skills. Or continue your education with dozens of classes to get you on your path. No matter your stage of the game, your first move is Mid-State Technical College.
Hi, this is Van Patrick Oates from Rapids Awards and More. People ask, what is the more part of Awards and More? Well, that means that we're more than just an award store. We engrave glass, wood, plastic, guns, Yeti cups, medals, knives, and so much more. We're located on the web at awardsandmore.us. And if you're in the Wisconsin Rapids area, visit our physical store at 1210 Pepper Avenue or check us out on Facebook. Rapids Awards and More than just awards.
Back at Steam Stadium, after the completion of the first 12 minutes, Stratford with a 14-0 lead over the Cumberland Beavers. Stratford will have the ball, 1st and goal from the 2 to begin the second quarter. Thus far, Cumberland has been unable to stop the Kohler Kilty show. Come out, 3 running backs, the old Stratford T formation. Here's the pitch to Gavin Leonard heading around the right side. He breaks it up, touchdown. Gavin Leonard with a 2-yard touchdown run. Makes the score Stratford 20, Cumberland 0. Gavin started the year as an offensive lineman, then with some early season injuries, moved him back to running back, of which he played the last couple years. Had a great game last week against Amherst, catching 2 passes good for 70 yards in the fourth quarter. Danielson on to attempt the extra point. Thus far, he's been perfect, 2 for 2. Here's the snap, the kick hold is down, the kick is, that's a fake. Schiller looking in the end zone and it's intercepted. The PAT is no good.
2 point try is no good.
So with the missed extra point, Tigers will have a 20-0 lead here with 11:50 seconds remaining in the second quarter. We're going to take a quick message from one of our sponsors here on Zaleski Sports.
Jenny Shaner, Realtor First Weber, has been a Central Wisconsin resident her entire life. That means she has the inside edge on knowing the landscape and what it takes to care for your real estate needs. Whether you're buying or selling, Jenny Shaner, Realtor First Weber, is your friend and neighbor, ready to help.
I'm Jenny Shaner, Realtor First Weber, with experience in residential and commercial real estate. Let's work together as a team for a win in your next real estate transaction.
All right, back live here at Steam Stadium. Stratford with a 20-0 lead early in the second quarter. One play in. Tigers' attempt at a two-point conversion was no good. Danielson to kick off for the Tigers. This time he gets a good kicking foot into it. Ball bounces and fielded by efforts around the 10-yard line, trying to get all the way around to the, and he slides down at the 19-yard line.
Jack's efforts on the return. Matt
Foles on the tackle for the Tigers.
Ball carried out to the 19.
The Beavers will take over 1st and 10 from the 19. So far, the Tigers have been able to handle the passing from the Beavers. They did complete one long pass. Actually, it was the first play that Cumberland had the ball, and since that point, held them pretty much in check. Here's Olsen with the quick pass to the side, completed to Schaefer. Brought down right away. Connor Weigel on the tackle for the Tigers.
Connor Weigel on the stop in the back.
Loss of 4 on the play and make it 2nd and 14. Ball back at the 15-yard line. Stratford playing a 3 down linemen up front. A lot of defensive backs and linebackers. Here's the quick handoff right up the middle.
Ball carried by
Ronaldo on the carry. Only gets 2 on the play. It's going to make up 3rd and 12 for the Beavers.
Fuller Kilty on the stop.
Kilty once again on the tackle for the Tigers.
And 12.
This time the Beavers have 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Olsen in the backfield by himself. There's a snap, once again dropped. He picks it up, looking downfield. He does, and he completes the pass. Brought down immediately by Connor Weigel. Pass was completed to Monty Peterson.
Monty Peterson on the stop, Connor Weigel.
Gain of 7 on the play is going to still make it 4th and 4.
4th and 4 at the Beavers.
Ball right at the 25-yard line. Beavers line up to punt the ball. Here's the low line drive way over Wrench's head. Ball rolls all the way down to the 25-yard line, where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 from that point. We'll keep it here. Stratford Homes, take the first step to building your new customized home with Stratford Homes. Visit stratfordhomes.com to see floor plans, schedule a tour, or begin the design of your new customized home from Stratford Homes. With a 110,000 square foot indoor construction facility and model home village located in the heart of central Wisconsin, Stratford Homes has been an industry leader in the systems-built home market since 1973. Visit stratfordhomes.com to get started today. Tigers come out 1st and 10 at the 25. Here's a short roll by Schiller looking downfield. Pass is completed. Wrench on the reception for the Tigers.
Ashton Wrench. On the stop, Edward Schaefer. 1st and 10, Stratford on the 37.
Gain of 11 on the play gives the Tigers a first down. Ball's up at the 37-yard line. Ashton has been Schiller's favorite targets thus far this season. Over 30 receptions. 9 touchdown receptions for Wrench. Here's the read. Drops straight past. Leonard's in the open. He's at the 30, the 20, the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. 63-yard touchdown pass from Schiller to Gavin Leonard. Puts the Tigers on top 26-0 at the 9:04 mark of the second quarter.
Instant replay.
Got a replay here once again by Tony. Got behind the defensive secondary, and once he caught it, wasn't going to be denied. Tigers line up to go for 2 this time. Here's Schiller rolling to the left, looking for somebody. The pass is blocked, knocked down by by Schaefer. And the extra point is no good. At the 9:04 mark, second quarter, Stratford 26, Cumberland 0. We'll take a message from one of our sponsors on Zaleski Sports.
We said we're growing, and we are. Come join the Crystal Finishing family. We're looking for experienced industrial maintenance mechanics, CNC fabricators, all driver positions for our freight team, as well as skilled and general production. We know the importance of a work and life balance. Our shift options and flexible schedules set us apart. Our pay ranges from $17 to $43 per hour depending on your skill level. We're proud to be a family-owned company that is committed to our community, team members, and the growth of our business. Call or jump on our website to learn more.
He didn't play much offense at the beginning part of the year, but he gets back live here at Steam Stadium. Stratford with a 26-0 lead. 9:04 remaining in the second quarter. Once again, I'd like to thank Tony and Brendan for a great job in helping us out here tonight for level 1 playoff action at Steam Stadium. It's nice to have the replays. Danielson teeing it up for the Tigers. Here's the kick. Another low line drive. Fielded at the 28, run straight up the field. Gidio brought down at the 38-yard line. Cumberland will take over 1st and 10. 8:59 remaining here in the second quarter.
1st and 10, Cumberland at the 38.
Three receivers to the left, one wide to the right. Man coming across. Here's a quick pass completed to Vaughn Johnson. Kind of a quick screen.
Vaughn Johnson.
John Seitz on the tackle for the Tigers.
Gain of a yard, 2nd and 9.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Ball's at the 39. So last week I'd mentioned I'd never seen Stratford play 10 men in the box, and they're doing it for the second week. One lone safety. Bunch of guys crowding the line of scrimmage. Here's Olsen back in the pocket, looking downfield, trying to throw it deep, and the pass is short and incomplete.
Pass
intended for Gavin Gores.
Gavin Gores is incomplete. 3rd down.
Peyton Glenn on coverage for the Tigers. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
On the coverage, Gavin Leonard.
time the Beavers come out with two receivers, both sides. Kind of the read option, and there's a fumble in the backfield. It's still being bounced around. The Tigers look like they recovered and trying to advance it. Tigers have the ball inside the 25-yard line.
At the Cumberland 25.
Sights with the recovery for the Tigers.
Tackler Jackson Ormond and Jack Cobb.
1st and 10, Stratford at the 25. It was a slow developing play. Olsen tried to pitch it to one of his running backs. Pitch was over his head, and the ball was bouncing forever. Finally recovered by the Tigers. Tigers come out. Here's Schiller back to pass again. Looking, pass is complete. That's Gavin Leonard. He's down inside the 10. Leonard brought down at the 9-yard line. 1st and goal for the Tigers.
Pass from Schiller is complete. Down to the 10. 1st and goal.
1st and goal. I stand corrected. The reception on the last play was to Tishy, not Leonard. Tishy on the reception. 1st and goal. Here's the handoff to Kilty, heading around the left side, breaks up behind his left tackle. He's into the 5, brought down at the 2-yard line. Jack Schaefer on the tackle.
Ball carried down to the 2.
2nd down and goal for the Tigers from the 2-yard line. Tigers spreading the ball around to different players on offense. Tishy, not very many receptions this year. Gavin Leonard didn't have any receptions until last week's game with the long touchdown reception tonight. 2nd goal for the Tigers. Here's the handoff to Kilty. He walks into the end zone, touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run. Kohler Kilty puts the Tigers on the board once again, making it 32-0 at the 6:39 mark of the 2nd quarter. The only time the Tigers have been stopped on offense tonight is when the first series they went 3 and out, and on the punt, the Beavers fumbled it, muffed it, and the Tigers went in to score after that. Here's the extra point kick by Danielson is good. Evan Danielson with the extra point, making it Stratford 33. Cumberland 0 with a break in the action. Once again, we'll take a message from one of our sponsors here on Zaleski Sports.
Stone Innovations, home of Wisconsin's largest granite and quartz selection, is now featuring the best stones shopping experience in the state. Our brand new indoor facility allows for a home-like, comfortable atmosphere. Choose from hand-picked stone from around the world and select the perfect look for your dream kitchen in the best lighting possible. Then sit down with our free design services to customize the look of your kitchen. Our projects come with a lifetime warranty. Stone Innovations, Wisconsin's granite and quartz leader. Appleton, Rhinelander, Clover, Madison.
All right, back live here. A couple other scores around central Wisconsin.
DC Everest 2, Hudson 0.
DC Everest ahead of Hudson 2-0. And Marshfield leads Pulaski 14-0 at Marshfield. Here's the kick by Danielson. Low line drive fielded at about the 10-yard line. This is Efforts. Brought down by Logan Schmidt for the Tigers.
Logan Schmidt on the stop.
Beavers are going to take over. 1st and 10, ball at the 33-yard line. Ryan Becker also on the tackle for the Tigers.
Edgar's up 15-0 over Turtle Lake.
Edgar 15, Turtle Lake 0.
Pittsville and
Assumption 13, Pittsville 6. Thanks, Brendan.
Pacelli and Regis, it's not even close.
Regis ahead of Pacelli, 44-0. Eau Claire Regis, the number 1 seed in Division 7. We got a
substitution on Stratford.
penalty against the Tigers. Illegal substitution.
Check that sideline warning.
Excuse me, it was a sideline warning. It's like 3 weeks in a row now the Tigers sideline has gotten too close to the action. Here's the handoff up the middle to Ronaldo. Gain of 2 on the play.
Roman Ronaldo on the carry.
Gain of 2.
Second and 8.
Second and 8. Ball right at the 35-yard line.
34. Evan Danielson on the stop.
Danielson on the stop for the Tigers. Thanks to Brendan for bringing us some scores here. Local teams. Here's the quick pass out to Efforts, and he's hit and brought down immediately.
Wilson's pass is complete to Jack's Efforts.
Connor Weigel on the stop for the Tigers. Loss of a yard on the play. Makes it 3rd and 9. Falls back at the 34-yard line.
Gain to the 34. 3rd and 9.
Cumberland does a lot of passing, but a lot of it's short stuff. They haven't tried a couple long ones. They did complete one on the first.
Cumberland.
Cumberland's going to take a timeout. We'll keep it here. Spectrum Benefits Solutions with offices located throughout central Wisconsin. Spectrum Benefit Solutions is your group benefits provider for health, dental, accident, and life insurance. Spectrum Benefit Solutions works with hundreds of clients of all sizes to help you attract and retain the best employees. Find Spectrum Benefit Solutions on Facebook to get started. Crystal Finishings is a family-owned business now hiring for both their Weston and Mosinee locations, with openings in manufacturing, fabrication, management, customer service, and so much more. Join the Crystal Finishing team. Learn more at crystalfinishings.com. Back here at Steam Stadium, Stratford holding a 33-0 lead over the Cumberland Beavers. Division 6, Level 1, WIAA playoff football. Lose now and your season's over. The winner looking to advance to the winner between Cadott and Ladysmith. Next weekend with a site to be determined. Marshfield wins tonight. Stratford might end up right back here again next week. Third and 9. Davis in the backfield by himself. Here's the snap. Straight back, drop back. Looking deep this time. And it's going to be intercepted. Wrench with the interception for the Tigers. He's at the 35, 30, 25, down at the 23-yard line.
Ashton Wrench with the interception. Knocked out of bounds by David Olson.
Ashton Wrench read that beautifully and cut inside the receiver. Went up and intercepted and returned it down to the 23-yard line, where the Tigers will have it 1st and 10. Actually, that brought down at the 22-yard line. Once again, Tony's got this highlight. Gosh, I love this. All right, back to live action. Thank you, Tony. 1st and 10, but Tigers at the 22. Here's the snap. Here's the fake. And wide open, Gavin Leonard in the middle. Pass was a little short.
Schiller's pass is incomplete to Gavin Leonard. Second down.
Makes it 2nd and 10. Leonard was running across the middle. Pass was a little short. 4-down territory for the Tigers, most likely, unless there's a penalty. 2nd and 10, balls at the 22. Tigers come out, double wide receiver to the left, one to the right, slot to the left. Here's a fake. There's a screen being set up to the right side, complete to Kilty. He's inside the 15, the 10, run out of bounds around the 9-yard line. It's going to give the Tigers first and goal at the 9.
Knocking him out of bounds. First and goal at the 8.
Many years, Stratford's been one of the better screen teams. Go to it quite often, passing for me situations. Tigers come out, first and goal at the 9. 2 receivers wide to the left. Kilty, the lone running back, next to Schiller in the backfield. Here's the snap. Kilty's going to run it himself. He's at the 10, 5, brought down at the 4-yard line.
Braden Schiller on the keeper.
Brought down by David Olson for the Beavers.
David Olson and Bryce Colburn with the stop. Ball carried down to the
2nd and goal, ball now at the 4-yard line. .435 remaining here in the first half. Steam Stadium in Schofield. Stratford looking to add to their 33-0 lead against the Beavers. 1 receiver wide on each side. This time it looks like Ryan Becker is the running back next to Schiller in the backfield. Here's the snap, handoff to Becker. Around the left side, touchdown. Ryan Becker.
Ball carried by Ryan Becker. Touchdown, Stratford.
4-yard touchdown run by Ryan Becker puts the Tigers on top 39-0 with 4:13 remaining in the second quarter. Tigers come out and it looks like they're going to go for 2.
Stratford going for 2.
Line up in the T formation. Schiller under center. Turns, gives it to Logan Schmidt.
The try is good. Stratford 41.
Logan Schmidt with the 2-point PAT run. Makes it 41-0 at the 4:13 mark of the second quarter. We'll take a quick message from one of our sponsors. You're listening to Stratford Tiger Football here on Zaleski Sports.
When the last thing you need to happen does. One of our 17 mobile service trucks from Sherrill Tire and Service Center can get you rolling again. Sherrill Tire and Service Center is your locally owned commercial and farm tire specialist. Find us at SherrillTire.com.
Back here at Steam Stadium, Stratford 41, Cumberland Beavers 0 with 4:13 remaining in the second quarter. After a 4-yard touchdown run by Ryan Becker and a 2-point conversion good by Logan Schmidt. Danielson to kick for the Tigers. Here's the kick. Bounces and fielded by Efforts. Trying to head around the right side. He's going to be run out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Jack Tubbs on the tackle for the Tigers on special teams. Seldom used sophomore, getting some action on special teams here in the first half. Cumberland will take over, 1st and 10. Cumberland doesn't huddle, so they're up their line, ready to go. Got 1 receiver split to the left, slot to the right. Man in motion, quick pass to
Edward
Schaefer on the play. Way wide to the left, got around the corner. Looks like he gained about 6 on the play. 2nd and 4. Ball at the 30-yard line. .330 remaining here in the second quarter. 4 receivers to the right this time, 1 lone receiver far left. Here's the quick pass, complete once again to Schaefer. Brought down quickly at the 30-yard line. No gain on the play.
Ashton Wrench on the stop.
Wrench on the stop for the Tigers.
No gain, 3rd down.
3rd and 4. Ball still at the 30. The Beavers back up, 2 receivers to the left, slot to the right. Olsen back to pass, looking downfield, deep for efforts. Pass is complete and then dropped out of bounds right along the sideline. I'm not sure he'd have been able to keep his feet in bounds anyway. Pass is incomplete, brings up 4th and 4. Peyton Glenn on the coverage for the Tigers, right alongside of efforts. Making it 4th and 4. Looks like Cumberland's going to punt. Stepping back for the Tigers is Ashton Wrench. Here's the fake punt and a pop pass over the middle, and it's incomplete. He ran up to the line of scrimmage and tried to do a pop pass to Gavin Gores. Incomplete. Gavin Leonard on defense for the Tigers. Tigers are going to take over 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. We'll keep it here. 2:33 remaining in the first half. Stratford still with most of their starters in on offense. Probably not going to see a whole lot of them in the second half. Kilty once again the lone running back next to Schiller in the backfield. Here's Schiller back to pass, looks to the left, now comes back to Peyton Glenn.
Schiller's pass is complete to Peyton Glenn.
Down to the 23-yard line.
To the 23, 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 for the Tigers. Schiller doing a nice job tonight, spreading the ball around to several different receivers. Some of these gentlemen haven't seen the ball on offense 5-6 times all season. 2 receivers wide, 1 to each side. Here's the fake. Schiller back to pass, looking again to the right. Complete pass. Looks like it's Peyton Glenn again.
Schiller's pass is complete to Peyton Glenn. 1st and 10.
This time he's brought down at the 15-yard line, making it 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
On the 15.
Tigers working on some stuff that we haven't seen a whole lot of so far this season. Here's a timeout on the field by the Stratford Tigers. We'll leave it here. Some of our sponsors for tonight. K&S is a family-owned and operated logistics company located in Greenwood, Wisconsin. K&S provides domestic and less than truckload shipping solutions to destinations nationwide. From simple to complex, if you need to move it, we can find a flexible solution for you. K&S is currently looking for some awesome people to join our driving team. Full-time, part-time, local, and long-haul positions available. Visit kslogs.com. Heartland Farms is the 5th-generation potato and vegetable farm, producing many varieties of chipping potatoes and currently farming 27,000 irrigated acres and growing. They are currently the cream of the crop in the potato farming business. Learn more at heartland.farm. That's heartland.farm. Back live here. 1:31 remaining in the first half. Stratford with a 41-0 lead over Cumberland. Have the ball, 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line. Tigers with 2 receivers wide left, 1 to the right. Kilty, the lone running back, next to Schiller in the backfield. Here's a quick pass, complete to Wrench. Trying to get around the corner. He's down inside the 10. He's down close to the 5.
Schiller's pass complete to Ashton Wrench.
Brought down on the play with a little extra effort there by Jack Schaefer. It's going to cost him a personal foul. Threw him to the ground well after the whistle. Little frustration.
Personal foul against.
Understandable at this point.
Half the distance to the goal.
He's going to take the ball down to the 4-yard line and give the Tigers a 1st and goal. $1:15 remaining here in the second quarter. Tigers have it 1st and goal from the 4. Here's the handoff to Kilty. He walks into the end zone, touchdown. 4-yard touchdown run by Kohler Kilty. Puts the Stratford Tigers on the board once again, making it 47-0. Danielson to attempt the extra point kick.
Evan Danielson on for the extra point.
So far, when the Tigers have kicked it, he's 3 for 3. Here's the snap, good snap. Hold is down, the kick is up and good.
Kick is good.
Evan Danielson with his 4th consecutive PAT kick, good, making it Stratford 48, Cumberland 0. Well, quick message from one of our sponsors here at Zaleski Sports.
A&B Process Systems has been a proud member of the Stratford community since 1973. You can find your next career in engineering, welding, and more at A&B Process Systems. Our campus also includes our exclusive Factory Acceptance Testing Center with full-service testing capabilities to ensure that your equipment will perform to your expectations. Visit A&B Process Systems on Facebook today for more information.
Steam Stadium. Stratford once again set to kick off. 48-0 lead here. 1:03 remaining in the first half. Danielson to kick for the Tigers. Deep his efforts. And Vaughn Johnson for the Beavers. Here's the kick. This time it's a little bit more height. Fielded by efforts. Trying to get around the right side. Pushed out of bounds by Gavin Leonard. Right at the 25-yard line.
Knocking him out of bounds. Gavin Leonard. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Once again, the winner of this game moves on to level 2 action next weekend. Site to be determined. Tigers win, they'll host it. It'll either be in Marshville or possibly back here. 3 receivers to the right, 1 wide to the left. And now the Beavers are going to take a quick timeout. And with the quick timeout, we'll get another message from our sponsors here on Zaleski Sports.
Witness the difference of a Catholic education at Columbus Catholic Schools.
I think everyone should just know what makes this place special come and see. That's just what the Lord always said, and put your toe in the water. There are great schools, and it's a good fit. I'd always want them to come and to just feel the goodness and the family atmosphere.
I invite everyone just to come in and see what it's about and to see if it might be right for them and their family.
We invite you to schedule a tour today.
All right, back here at DC Everest after a quick timeout by Cumberland. I'd like to take a quick minute to thank the people here at DC Everest for their hospitality this evening. Seems like each week Stratford's had 6 home games at 3 different locations. None in Stratford. Not sure what the referee is. Maybe he's waiting for ESPN to come back live. Zaleski Sports has got you covered, buddy. Here's the handoff right up the middle. Nice run by Ronaldo.
Ball carried by Roman Ronaldo. First and 10 Cumberland.
Gain of 14 by Ronaldo. First down, Beavers. Up at the 39-yard line. Tackle made by Ashton Wrench. 4 receivers to the right, 1 wide left. Here's Olsen straight back in the pocket. Steps up in the pocket, being rushed. Oh, he gets hit, and I think that's a fumble.
Pass is incomplete.
They're calling it an incomplete pass.
Second down, officials timeout.
Olsen got hit hard. I believe it was Isaiah Hadlock, because Hadlock is also down. Two players still down on the field. Quarterback Olsen. Looks like the Tigers' Hadlock might have the wind knocked out of him. Isaiah up on his feet, headed to the sidelines. Probably overstepping my boundary here, but I'm going out on a limb and saying if the game would have been closer, that would have been a fumble. With a 48-0 score, play it the safe way and just call it an incomplete pass. Olsen now up on his feet, headed to the sideline. Not sure who the backup quarterback is. Number 1, Framstead. Jaden Framstead now quarterbacking for the Beavers, a sophomore. Six seconds remaining here in this before halftime. Here's the handoff once again up the middle to Ronaldo.
Roman Ronaldo on the field.
Brought down by Kilty. And that's going to might be the last play of the first quarter, first half, excuse me. Clock now at 17 seconds. I think the Beavers are content just to let the clock run out and head her to the halftime, regroup. Stay tuned for our halftime show. Once again, we'll have the Jerry Sin Show. And that's the end of the first half with the score, the Stratford Tigers 48, the Cumberland Beavers 0. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Stay tuned for your halftime show.
The wing is Keegan Hartway, and Strite wants to throw. Slipped on his back foot. He throws a wobbler. He had a man behind the defense. It's caught. Across the 30, down inside the 20, 15, 10-5, touchdown. Norrington gets the catch.
Time now for the Jerry Sin Show. Recorded at Edgar Family Restaurant in Edgar. And sponsored by Security Health Plan. Security Health Plan, promises kept, plain and simple. Visit securityhealth.org today. Welcome to the Jerry Sin Show. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski. Jerry Sin Show weekly, sponsored by Security Health Plan. Promises kept plain and simple here at Edgar Family Restaurant with Edgar head football coach Jerry Sins. Coach, I joked a little bit last week about if you beat Auburndale, then you got to go on the field and talk to Coach Jay Anderson, and you got to at least wish him good luck the next week. We talked about that last week. And then maybe, give them some words of inspiration or something. I don't know what you did, but game was tied. I'm going to show you the clip here, what turned out to be the game-winning touchdown. And as we're showing that to the folks at home, game's tied. This is about 4 minutes or so left in the game. They're tied at 14. And, there's a couple ways you can win a football game, right? You can do it on the ground, do it traditionally. I'm going to zoom that in here on this next clip, but why not just win the game on maybe a catch of the year across high school football? Now Auburndale does go and they intercept Colby a couple minutes after this, so the defense clinched it. But there's Alex Wilford from Trayton Weber. You saw those guys recently. Thoughts on that catch by Alex?
Yeah, I saw it on TV, and we talked about it with the kids on Sunday night, because of course, obviously we were, hoping for a possible way to get a part of the conference championship too, and that's the only way it could happen. But I said, yeah, you see guys in the pros make those catches, but you don't see guys in high school make catches like that very often. So it was definitely we knew when we played Auburndale that he was a very talented guy.
Yes.
Especially defensively. I thought the guy really had a nose for the ball and moved around well, and so it's not like a total shock, but it was a very good play.
I first ran into Alex. This is the Edgar Football Show, by the way, but I ran into Alex in 2020. That year, Auburndale played just a 1-year 8-man. They were short on things in the COVID and everything else. So he caught a catch in the end zone, a juggling catch. He might have been a freshman then, whatever he was, 2 years
sophomore
then. He makes a juggling catch with zeros on the clock to win the game. So he's been doing this stuff his whole career. Alex Wilford has. Fortunately for you, you won't have to see Auburndale in the postseason. So you're through with them. We'll talk about postseason here in just a little bit. But first, 35-0. You had Marathon come over on Friday night. I took a look at some of these stats. If people didn't get a chance to watch the game week, I like to kind of pour over stats the week after. You had 3 pass attempts from your offense. They had 28 pass attempts, and Hoax them out with 27 of those. How did you withstand the air assault from the Marathon Red Raiders?
Yeah, they passed the ball well. We actually had 9 pass plays in our first script of 20. We ended up only throwing 3. Our first one was our only completion. First play of the game, we completed a 64-yarder for a touchdown.
Yeah.
After that, our quarterback ran once or twice when there were pass plays, and he scrambled and whatever. And the other ones, he probably got sacked, once or twice. Once I know he dropped the ball, so then he had to jump on and recover it. And so, it wasn't our plan to only pass 3 times. It just turned out that way. And then, of course, once we got ahead, we tend to not pass when we're ahead, so then it just kind of happened that way.
Yeah, and he happened to have an interception in the game, too.
Right.
So that sometimes, the old football coaches, you're not in that category. The old football coaches, they always said you can throw a ball, but only one thing good can happen and 2 things bad can happen. And so there are some reasons maybe not to throw the ball. You'll figure that out. Another nice night rushing, 225 yards. He held them to just 76. So tackling getting better defensively as the seasons went on?
I think so. Matt Anderson, he's a very good runner. And he ran right over some of our guys early in the game, several times. Eventually we had to game tackle him more. But we were happy that we got 3 guys that are finally carrying the ball pretty well now. Carter Butt had about 100 yards. Jacoby Weisenberger had 70-something, and Jace Applebeck had 60-something. Well, that's what we always work for, is to try to get 3 guys that are carrying the ball and all taking the weight off each other's shoulders, so to speak. So we're hoping maybe we can keep that going in the playoffs.
Coach says, something-ish yards. He's always exactly right, by the way. He knows his football up and down. Carter Butt, 98 yards. Colby Weisenberger, 72. 2 touchdowns for Colby on Friday night. And then Leighton Schuett with 24 yards. Jace Applebeck with 64 yards. So you were You're certainly right on there. Let's go back to the opening touchdown. It was the only completed pass, so I think we can talk about that a little bit. You told Tom after the game that Avery Normington's got some speed. How can you get, you're doing it, but is there a way to get the speed guys even more involved now come playoffs?
I think we might have to. Friday night looks like it's going to be nice, 60-something degrees. Yeah. So certainly we're going to try again Friday. Yeah, Leighton and Shuett and Avery are both very fast runners, and they both have good hands too. Like I said, we tend, when we're playing teams like Auburndale who throws the ball so well, then we try to keep it away from them. It's kind of the same thing we did when we played Stratford. And of course, you're going to keep it away from them. Well, you do that better by running. We scored on our first 2 plays of the game against Marathon, and of course, at that point, our defensive coach said to me, "Will you give us a rest on defense? We're on the field all the time." I said, "Well,
what a problem, yeah.
We're not going to tell the guys to fall down at the 3-yard line or something just to give you a rest." But of course, the defense pretty much played the whole first quarter because we were scoring in 1 play, but not necessarily by design, but it just happened that way. So, the passing, we need to keep working on the passing. There's no doubt about it.
Last about the regular season, you do end up as conference champs, so you get another championship banner to put up, or at least to talk about. You head into the postseason now as a 2 seed. How do you? This is a school sport, so let's go to grades now. What kind of grade would you put on the regular season for your guys?
I think pretty well. I mean, obviously, the Colby game was our homecoming week. We didn't play it that well. We started out well. We played it a quarter and a half well. Our best player was not feeling well that day. You never make excuses, but that's just what happened. We planned on running him 25 times that game, but with the way it was, he only carried 7 or 8 times. All that put kind of a crimp in our offense. Yeah. And so anyway, but since then, I think our seniors have been good leaders. They've helped us out a lot, even though they're small in number. They're playing really hard, and so for us to go 8-1 in a conference as competitive as ours, I think we had a good year.
Good. We think so too. All right, moving now to postseason. We had our seed projections. WI threw us a little bit of a curveball. They put Regis into your grouping, which has them as the 1, you as the 2. Aside from that, you've got 4 teams in your grouping from the Dunn St. Croix Conference. So let's maybe start with that. What do you know about that conference? I know you got some personal ties, but what do you know about that group of 4, especially from that conference?
Well, that's the conference I played in when I was in high school. Same name, way back in the 60s. Teams are very different. Back then, we used to play Baldwin, Woodville, and Somerset and some of these other schools, but those schools are now 500 kids or whatever. And of course, Elmwood is small. They're now co-oping with Plum City, but they're in that conference. Like Turtle Lake was not in it back then. Spring Valley, Spring Valley's in there. They were in there. So, I'm pretty familiar, obviously, with that area and with those teams. My brothers still live in that area, so they go to the games. They fill me in once in a while. I know Elmwood's got a great running back, got a guy with 2,200 yards, so it'd be nice to see him, but I don't know if that'll happen. But
if being the 2 seed, if you do your job, you'll have at least 2 home games, so that's got to be a little bit reassuring to be able to play at home.
Yeah, it's always nice because most of these teams are a long ways from us. I mean, if we have to travel to them, most of them are 100 to 120 miles away. So it's certainly nice to have them at home.
Turtle Lake, they go by the Lakers, not the Turtles, which has always been confusing for me because you've got Shell Lake not that far away that is also the Lakers. So somebody should have broke the tie there, and somebody should have been the Shells or the Turtles. But be that as it may, Turtle Lake's got a couple big running backs, or a couple running backs put up some big numbers. So the tackling again by defense will have to be key on Friday night.
Yeah, they have 3 very skilled guys at least, and their numbers 3, 4, and 5. 3 and 4 are brothers, maybe even twins. I don't know. They're both seniors. They both weigh about 190. One of them's got 800 and something yards rushing, and the other guy's got 600 and something yards receiving. And then 5 is the quarterback, and he's the dual-purpose guy. He's passed for about 1,000 yards and run for about 600. So they certainly got some guys that are weapons. Maybe their toughest guy, maybe number 12, who's their fullback and middle linebacker, and he's a tackling machine on defense and a pretty good blocker on offense, so he's another guy we have to contend with.
Folks that go to the game on Friday night, or if they can't make it there, they watch it with us. Maybe it's the end of the first quarter. Forget about what the scoreboard says, but how will people at home, because this is a team that nobody probably around here has ever seen, Turtle Lake. How will people watching the game know that things are going according to Coach Sins's plan after the first quarter?
Well, obviously, we're going to have to be running the ball, fairly well, even though once again, we'll come up planning to pass some, and if the weather is nice like they say it's going to be, maybe it'll look, a little better this week. Hopefully the field is dry, which I think it's going to be, and as long as we're not making any mistakes, getting too many penalties, well, then things are going kind of the way a guy plans.
If you happen to win on Friday night, you'll take on the winner of Spring Valley and Hurley. There those Hurley North Stars are again, right? Maybe, and you never know, except this time it would have to be at your place, no long drives up to Hurley. How do you go about collecting film for those games? Has film already been shared from, I guess, over the weekend?
The WIAA requires each team to pretty much on Saturday morning share your last two games with who your next opponent's going to be, and everybody's very good about that now, and everybody either has Huddle or some other format like that, and some of those are actually now getting a little better now, but I think they're very clear and very nice. So yeah, whoever we play, if we win, we'll have their information right away on Saturday morning, and they'll have ours, and then you just go from there. And the key is, I think, not to look ahead, because you got to worry about who you have, each week, and because you never know, the team you might be looking ahead to might get beat, and then you're not playing them anyway.
Yeah.
So you just wasted effort.
Third year of computerized seeding. The WIAA tells us the first 2 years there were very few, almost no upsets at all through that seed process. So I guess that's good. That means that the teams are being categorized correctly. But with that being said, when something like that happens, there is an upset. How are you and the coaches able to kind of undo what you did maybe in that preparation and now have to reel it back in and now look at a different team?
Yeah, the seeding stuff, to me, I obviously don't understand it that well, because I've never seen, the criteria that's used. I know that every year there's a few situations where it does not seem to make sense, where I think this year one of the games we thought was maybe Maple Northwestern and St. Croix Falls, and I believe Maple beat them head-to-head, and they're in the same bracket. And yet St. Croix got the 1 seed and they got the 2, and they also have a better record. And there's a couple other places down by Milwaukee that have the same situation. A situation like with Colby dropping all the way from a 1 seed to a 4 with a 6-point loss. That seems like a big drop to me, to go from a 1 seed to a 4 seed with 1 6-point loss to another 8-1 team. But I don't know. I would have kind of thought that
maybe
Colby S and Auburndale might all be 2 seeds, but instead it's a 2, 3, and a 4. So,
right. Yeah, interesting for sure. We actually talked about Northwestern and Maple on our Valley Sports reveal show on Saturday morning. The difference there seemed to, because you're exactly right, Northwestern, the 2 conference champs, St. Croix, the 1 not conference champs, but the mathematical formula doesn't take into account conference champions. What it seemed to come down to was, in that case, Northwestern's non-conference opponent, or the 2 opponents, had a combined record of 6-12, whereas St. Croix Falls' non-conference opponents were 15-3. So that non-conference put their strength of schedule is on a full year. But anyway, that's for a whole different show, and we can maybe after the season's done, you and I can get together and maybe have some other people come and talk about that. A little bit bittersweet today. Last of our Jerry Sins shows for the season. We're going to let Coach go and focus on the playoffs. So thanks for being here every week. Thanks for even going through some of the schedule changes. We appreciate having you.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Coach and I get to stay after the show and talk about other stuff that you don't get to find out about. So that's probably the most fun for me. Okay, so good luck on Friday. Again, Tom King will have the call if you can't make it. We'll have it live on Zaleski Sports. we always end with a little bit not high school football. So Packers have lost 2 games in a row now. Yeah, I know the coach wanted me to bring this up. It's probably been a long time since you've lost 2 games in a row. But if you were to give some advice to the team on, you lose back-to-back games, that's one thing. But you lose 3, now you're on a losing streak. What's some advice you can give to a team that's a little bit on the outs right now?
Well, I mean, personally, I think they've got to get their offensive line straightened out. They've given up, didn't run the ball very effectively, only rushed for about 60 yards, and of course, Rodgers was under pressure and getting sacked. I think he got sacked 4 times, got hit about 10 times. I think they got good offensive linemen. I don't know if they're just not in sync with playing with one another, because Bakhtiari just came back and Jigen just come back, but I think that's where you got to start. You always have to start with the offensive and defensive lines. People think, you got to call different plays, or you got to use a different strategy, or run a different offense. No, that generally doesn't straighten anything out. You always have to start with the line, and if you get that straightened out, then the whole team seems to play well.
Guys like me and you that maybe might understand football maybe more than somebody else. Sometime in the first quarter, I said this game's over. You kind of knew right away by the looks of it, I thought. But in the NFL these days, they get to play now an extra game. So they're playing 17 games. So it's always been said the NFL is a marathon season. Well, now it's a marathon plus a game. So there is time, but those Vikings now in first place by a couple games got to be a little bit concerning to Packer fans, maybe.
I would think so, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Coach, best of luck on Friday night. We wish you well. We'll all be watching.
Thank you very much.
All right. That'll do it for this week's Jerry Sin Show and this season of the Jerry Sin Show. Thank you all for watching. Have a great night.
You know better when you see it.
All
right, 1, 2, 3. But sometimes it's a little harder to tell what better looks like, and you could use a little help.
Thanks, Mom.
Security Health Plan. Everything you need in a health plan. Everything you'd expect from a good neighbor.
Couple scores, games in the area. Marshfield now leading Pulaski 14-13. Regis 55-0 over Pacelli. Edgar 29, Turtle Lake 0. Assumption jumped out to an early lead, now holding on 23-18 against Pittsville. Stratford just about ready to kick off to begin the second half. Evan Danielson once again doing the kicking for the Tigers. Here's the kick off to the side of his foot again. Picked up by Derek Gidio.
Matt Coles on the stop. First and 10, Cumberland. Also on the stop, Caleb Wrench.
Caleb Wrench on the tackle for the Tigers. Beavers will take over first and 10 from the 39-yard line. WIAA rule, second half. Score over a 35-point lead. The clock's going to remain running. Probably be a rather quick second half. See how long some of Stratford's starters remain in the game. Here's the snap. Quick pitch to Kafer, Edward Kafer.
Pass to Edward Schaefer.
Gain of 4 on the play. Bring up 2nd and 6. Ball out at the 43-yard line. And an injury for the Tigers.
Officials timeout. Isaiah Hadley, also on the stop.
One of the Tigers down way on the far side of the field. with a 48-0 lead. Hate to see Tigers lose a starter here at this point. Actually, it's an injured Beaver on the play. I saw the doctor run from this side of the field thinking it was a Tiger, but it's not. It was Edward Schaefer with the injury. He gets up, walks off the field. Clock again, once again rolling. 2nd and 6, ball at the 43. Here's the handoff right up the middle. Rinaldo. Loss of a yard on the play.
Carried by Roman Rinaldo.
It's going to make it 3rd and 8. Ball back at the 41-yard line.
Ball now back to the 41, 3rd and 8.
David Olson has not returned to the field for the Beavers. Their fine senior quarterback, injured in the first half, has not returned. Sophomore Shaden Framstead, the quarterback. Third and 8. Here's the snap. Drops back in the pocket. Looking downfield. Pass was batted down and deflected by Ashton Wrench.
Intended for Vaughn Johnson, incomplete. 4th down. Knocked down by Ashton Wrench.
Nice defensive play by Wrench. Makes it 4th and 8. Trailing 48-0 and losing your starting quarterback. Cumberland's got their hands cut out for them at this point. Here's the punt. Over the head of Leonard. Rolls all the way down to the 6-yard line.
Ball is down to the 6, 1st and 10, Stratford.
Tigers will take over 1st and 10 at the 6. Stay tuned for our Nasonville Dairy post-game report. Have a chance to visit with Stratford Tiger head coach Jason Tubbs, and we'll also pick a Stratford Tiger player of the game. Lots of advice from my crew up here in the booth tonight. We'll fight it out and see who we pick as the player of the game. Tigers take over 1st and 10. Ball's at the 6. Full house backfield. Turns and gives it to Kilty. Heads over on the left side. Brought down at the
Kohler Kilty on the carry.
14-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play. 2nd and 3.
Roman Rinaldo on the stop. Ball carried out to the 14.
Rowan Rinaldo on the tackle for the Beavers.
2nd and 3.
Tigers still have most of their starters in the game. Just doing a straight T formation, full house backfield. Nobody wide. Quarterback under center. Here's a pitch to Leonard, headed around the right side, and he slips and steps out of bounds.
Ball carried by Gavin Leonard
at the 19-yard line.
Knocked out of bounds by Jaden Frum.
That's enough to give the Tigers a 1st down.
1st and 10, Stratford. Ball now on the 19-yard.
Gavin, thus far, a nice game for Stratford tonight. 2-yard touchdown run along with a 63-yard pass completion for a touchdown from Schiller. Certainly a candidate at the end of the game. 1st and 10. Here's a straight handoff right up the middle. Hard running by Ryan Becker.
Ball carried by Ryan Becker.
Seldom used on offense.
Stopped by Ben Cunningham, Roman Rinaldo.
Getting a chance here to play.
2nd and 1.
Nice to see a senior who hasn't had a lot of chances to run the ball, get some opportunities in a game like this. 2nd and 1 after a 9-yard gain. Here's a handoff to Kilty once again. Right up the middle. Stopped at the 34-yard line. Gives the Tigers another 1st down.
Ben Cunningham on the stop.
1st and 10 from the 34-yard line. We are down to 6:15 already, remaining in the third quarter. Here's the handoff to Leonard.
Gavin Leonard on the carry.
Gain of 5 on the play. 2nd 5.
We know how a bank should be at Partners Bank. Banking should be easier. Treating our customers as valued and important. Services should be better with online and mobile banking and locations close to where you live and work. Loans should be quicker, and we make all decisions locally with years of experience helping people with their financing needs. Partners Bank, member FDIC, and an equal housing lender.
Partners Bank, better together.
2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Ball's at the 40. Turns and gives it to Kilty over the right side. Gain of 6 on the play. 1st down Tigers.
Fuller Kilty on the 1st down carry.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line.
And Vaughn Johnson.
Don't expect to see the Tigers putting it in the air very often here in the second half. Tigers back up to the line. Here's the handoff to Becker. We're on the left side. He's into the clear. Oh, shoestring tackle. Nice tackle. Brought down at the 33-yard line.
On the Beavers 33. 1st and 10.
Cooper Shafransky with a shoestring tackle. Otherwise, Brian Becker's gone. 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 33-yard line. Tigers sticking just to their ground game. Everybody in tight. 3 running backs. There's Schiller, turns around. This time he gives it to Leonard, trying to get around the right side. He's at the 25, 20, inside the 15. Brought down at the 12-yard line.
Cooper Shramsky on the stop. Stratford 1st down.
1st down Tigers. 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line.
Replay.
Get a chance to see the last run by Gavin. Back to live action. 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Becker right up the middle. He's brought down at the 8-yard line. Gideon on the tackle. Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Ball at the 8. .235 remaining here in the third quarter. Here's a pitch to Becker, trying to get around the left side. Brought down at the 6-yard line.
Becker on the carry. Roman Ronaldo with the stop.
Ronaldo with the tackle for the Beavers.
Ball carried to the
3rd and 4. Ball at 6. Kohler Kilty coming out of the game for the Tigers. My guess is he's done for the night. Here's the handoff up the middle to Becker. Touchdown, Tigers. 6-yard touchdown run. by Ryan Becker. Makes the score Stratford 54. Tony's got her on replay.
Ryan Danielson has the extra point.
Back for the extra point kick. Here's a snap, the kick down, the kick is no good.
Kick is no good.
I think it was Zaleski with the extra point kick. Kick was no good. We'll take a quick message from our sponsors. You're listening to Zaleski Sports WIAA Football Playoff. All right, back here live at Steam Stadium. 1:34 remaining in the third quarter. Tigers again score, this time on a 6-yard run by Ryan Becker, making it Stratford 54, Cumberland 0.
Dan, as soon as this kickoff is done, I'm going to go for another commercial.
Next efforts, Vaughn Johnson beat to accept the kick from
Danielson to kick for the Tigers, and looks like we have all subs into the game now for the Tigers. Here's the kick. Bounces, picked it up by Javon Johnson.
Ball returned by
Another quick commercial here.
Granite Shop, we take great pride in what we do. We offer high-quality natural stone granite as well as a huge selection of man-made stone. With full slabs as well as a variety of partial remnants, you'll have no problem finding the stone that was meant for you. Our high-end, high-quality granite, quartz, and marble is perfect for any kitchen, bathroom, or remodel need. We are locally owned and operated on County Road C near Stratford. We service all of Wisconsin.
Back to live action. Cumberland up to the line. Framstead still in the game, sophomore quarterback after David Olson, Cumberland's starting quarterback, was injured in the second quarter. Here's a fumble on the play. Framstead jumps on it.
Ball recovered by the quarterback Framstead.
Makes it 2nd and 10. It's going to be the end of the third quarter.
No gain, 2nd and 10.
At the end of 3, Stratford's going to have a 54-0 lead, and we'll take a moment to listen to some of our messages from our sponsors here on Zaleski Sports.
R&R Flooring in Spencer is your place for the best in innovation and lowest pricing for your flooring project. New or remodel, tile, carpet, hardwood, ceramic, cork, you name it, R&R Flooring is ready for you today. R&R Flooring supports area programs like the broadcast you're watching and also supports area suppliers so you get great quality and pricing that fits your budget. Go to R&R Flooring today to see their showroom of flooring, furniture, mattresses, and custom-built showers. R&R Flooring in Spencer.
Winter's coming fast, which means it's time to hit the trails. Bill's Service Center has all things you need to stay warm and dry on the trails this winter. With a full selection of jackets, bibs, helmets, boots, casual wear. And don't forget that Bill's is your chainsaw safety gear headquarters. Bill's Service Center is your one-stop connection for all your cold weather riding gear.
Don't freeze your jingle bells off. Get your cold weather riding gear at Bill's Service Center. Bill's Service Center, where the adventure begins.
All right, back to live action, beginning of the fourth quarter. Cumberland with the ball, 2nd and 10. Ball at the 29-yard line. Here's another fumble on the play. Framstead jumps on it.
Ball recovered by Framstead.
This time we're going to have a loss of 5 back to the 24. Make it 3rd and 15 for the Beavers.
Ball goes back to the 24. 3rd and 15.
Stratford now with most of their JV team playing second unit members along with the JV team into the game. 3rd and 15. Here's a handoff right up the middle.
Ball carried by Roman Rinaldo.
Rinaldo on the carry for the Beavers. Looks like he gets a gain of 3 on the play. It's going to make it 4th and 12.
Carried out to the 27.
Zaleski on the tackle for the Tigers. Beavers are going to punt on 4th and 12. Here's the kick. Fielded by Jet Shaner. No, that's not.
Jeff Shaner. Sloan McCreary and Vaughn Johnson on the stop.
Penalty marker on the field.
At the Beavers 48.
No, not a penalty marker on the field. And the Tigers have the ball, 1st and 10 at the 48. Try to get, yes, there is a penalty marker on the field. I thought I saw one earlier. You're going to have a penalty moving the ball back against the Tigers. Tigers were huddled up in the area where I couldn't see the flag. Takes it all the way back to the 29-yard line.
First and 10 from the 29.
Clock now down to 9:45 remaining in tonight's game. Jack Tubbs now quarterbacking for the Tigers. Here's the handoff to Foles with the carry.
Cunningham with the stop.
Loss of 2 on the play makes it 2nd and 12. Takes the ball back to the 27. Tigers with a lot of subs now in the game. Don't normally see a lot of action. This time the handoff is to Tubbs.
Jack Tubbs on the carry.
Foles was quarterback on that play.
Ben Cunningham with the stop. Ball now on the 31.
Gain of 6 on the play. 3rd and 8. Actually, gain of 4 on the play. 3rd and 8. Ball at the 31. Here's Shaner on the jet sweep, headed around right side. Brought down at the 38-yard line.
Knocked out of bounds by Jack Lawrence.
Shaner, a sophomore that's been out most of the season with a knee injury. The fastest kid in Stratford High School. Only a sophomore.
Into the
went to state as a freshman in track. 4th and 2 for the Tigers. Here's Tubbs on the quarterback carry right up the middle. Looks like he's got the first down at the 40.
Shaner on the carry. 1st and 10 Stratford.
It is enough for a first down.
Remington Rivasol on stop.
Ball right at the 40. Two receivers split wide to the left, slot to the right. Here's the handoff to Tubbs. Heading it around the right side. Gain of 2. Looks like Foles and Tubbs are switching at quarterback every other play. One play, one guy runs it and switches to running back, and then they switch the next play. Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Ball at the 42. Tigers will wait to see who they'll play and where they'll play next week in level 2. They know they'll play the winner between Cadott and Ladysmith at a site to be determined. Here's a handoff to Caden Leonard, another sophomore. Caden with a nice run, breaks a couple tackles, carries some guys. Probably Caden's first carry of the year.
Caden Leonard on the carry, 1st and 10.
First down for the Tigers, ball's at the 48-yard line.
Connor Burke, Harrison Ruffel on the stop.
Take a moment to thank the guys up here in the booth with me tonight. Brendan Retzlaff, Tony Hollander. Great job by those guys. First time we all got to work together. Enjoyed it. Here's the jet sweep, this time to Leonard. Caden Leonard.
Caleb Wrench on the carry.
So that's Caleb Wrench on the carry.
Gain of a yard.
2 and 7 look a lot alike from this far away. Gain of
Burke
1 on the play.
Also Gabe Erickson.
Caleb, another sophomore, getting some action here late in tonight's game. Clock now down to 4:45 remaining, with Stratford with a 54-0 lead over the Cumberland Beavers. Here's Tubbs running around the right side. Cuts it up inside. He's going to get enough for, or close to, a first down.
Yeah, Tubbs in the carry.
It looks like they mark him right at the marker. Gain of 9 on the play.
Hayden Guthrie, Gabe Erickson on the stop. First
They,
and 10, Stratford
they do
at
give
the
him a first down.
38.
First and 10, ball's at the 38. Everest holding on to a 9-6 lead at Hudson. Stratford might not have a place to play next week. Here's Foles on the carry. Heading around the right side. Stays in bounds. It doesn't matter. The clock's going to keep running anyway. Gain of 2 on the play. Somebody take us. Somebody let us play somewhere.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8. Everest being a 7 seed won't probably get a home game in the second round if they win tonight anyway. Unless the number 1 seed loses. 1 and an 8. Here's the handoff to Foles.
Matt Foles on the carry. Sloan McCreary on the
No gain on the play. It's going to make it 3rd and 8.
3rd and 6.
Tigers get another first down. They'll be able to run the clock out. Here's the handoff to Tubbs, heading around the left side. He gets around the corner. He's at the 30, cuts it up inside, brought down to 25. That gives him the first down. Jack Tubbs with the carry. Not used to seeing him play running back. Usually he's the backup quarterback.
Cooper Shramsky and Caden Guthrie on the stop.
1st and 10 Tigers from the 25. Be a long ride home for the Cumberland fans tonight. Tubbs this time hands it off to Foles. Off the right tackle. Looks like he gains 4 on the play. It's going to make it 2nd and 6. Clock now down to 1:10 remaining in tonight's game. Stay tuned. We're going to have a Nasonville Dairy post-game report. I'll be on the field, talking to head coach Jason Tubbs, and we'll pick a Tiger player of the game. Got it kind of narrowed down to 2 guys. Let the coaches pick from there. 2nd down. Foles gives it to Tubbs right up the middle. He's down at the 15-yard line. That's going to give the Tigers a 1st down, and that's probably going to be the last play of the game. That will be the last play of the game tonight. Once again, Stratford Tigers will advance to level 2 of Division 6 playoff football next weekend. Opponent in sight to be determined with a 54-0 win over the Cumberland Beavers. I'd like to thank the DC Everest High School and their staff for hospitality here tonight. Maybe we'll see them next week. Stay tuned for the Nasonville Dairy postgame report. I'm going to run down to the field and catch up with Coach Tubbs, and we'll bring you a player of the game. Be back with you in a couple minutes. Thank you. You've been listening to Stratford Tiger Football here on Zaleski Sports.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
All right, so we're here with Kim Hyman. Kim, Nasonville Dairy, 125 years in the making. Tell us about that.
You know, it's fantastic. It was the first plant built in Wood County back in 1885. Sal Nason and his family came here, and they started a small dairy plant. Eventually that plant burnt down, but then they rebuilt onto this same facility, and our family moved here in the late 60s in 1968 and took it over from there, and it's been just a fantastic growth. Great community, great people we have working for us. Oh, it's an open market. It's huge. You know, the opportunity for the diversity in the cheese industry is fantastic, and you have to be that way in order to sell a lot of product. And so we've got a great group of people working on the research and development side for us. So it's been really fortunate for us. Oh, right. We have 185 farm families that market their milk through us here at Nasonville Dairy. And we are so lucky we have like the best dairy farms in not only in central Wisconsin, but in the United States, marketing milk through us. So we're just really fortunate on that side.
Actually, we started in 1968. Our father brought us here from another cheese plant in Wisconsin. We had come from the cheese business. We've always been in the business. We had moved around the state in different parts. He brought us here about that time. The plant ran 7,500 pounds of milk at that time, and now runs about 1.5 million a day. So. We originally started out with making cheddar, and now we make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers cheese, pizza cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parma, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafflettieri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda Edam and a little bit of Munster on occasion.